Williams, and we're thankful that you're here to talk to us about experience in the Middle East. We are going to be taking a virtual tour here at Nevada Union with our staff, doing a walking tour through some of the countries there, and we want to get your perspective on some of the things that you guys have experienced over there from just being there. So we're going to ask you some questions, and feel free to expound on them or add some of your own stories. So one of our questions that came up from staff is if we were really going to the Middle East for a visit, what would we need to bring?
Oh, definitely a pair of sunglasses. Sunblock.
Sunblock.
Yeah. An umbrella in case it starts to rain or hail, which it does over there. It'll actually try to flood as well.
Does it change during the day, or is it just during the seasons that it changes like that?
Changes the seasons, and it changes during the day, depending on the time of the year. Summertime is extremely hot, and wintertime the temperatures range, from very cold to, moderate warm. So it's a harsh climate, very windy, sand and the sun. So.
Wow. And hot? How hot? When you're talking hot?
It was 130 degrees in the summertime.
In the wintertime at night, because I worked on a night shift, it would actually freeze. Everything would get frozen, and it was like, I want to say around 20 degrees at times.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah,
it's extreme.
Huge extreme.
And it'll shift really fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's only 2 seasons over in the Middle East:
Hot
and cold.
Sounds like it. Ugh.
What shoes should you wear?
Leather, closed-toed. For us coming from another country, I would say closed-toed shoes that cover, above your ankle. Again, because the climate's so harsh, the landscape is not grass; it's rocks and dirt. So you want to have shoes that keep the bugs and keep the dirt and rocks out of your feet. So.
Some of the sand over there is so fine that it's like. Imagine you're going out, if you have animals and you've gone out to take care of your horses or whatever, and you step in the mud and it actually captures your foot, right?
Oh.
In some places the sand is so fine and so dense that when you step there, it'll actually make a suction around your foot, even though it's dry.
Yeah.
And then you pull your foot out and you'll hear that sound.
That's interesting. Huh. That's great. What amenities do you miss the most when you were over there? Like
Having a bathroom in my room. I think that's the only thing. Basically, they have just about everything that you have in any other country, like here in the United States. Open markets and stuff like that. I missed having, being able to get up out of bed, go use the restroom, and then go back to bed, because you actually have to go outside to a porta potty or one of those trailers that's full of showers and stuff like that.
I missed having my own car, my own vehicle, and the freedom that I brought with it. So
because you could just freely
could just
go
get
anywhere.
up and go anywhere I wanted to. So.
Now, did you have a lot of things over there that we have here in your area that you're staying, or how does that work?
There was Burger King, there was coffee shops, there were local food restaurants.
Then we have the Post Exchange, which is just like going to a super Walmart.
Oh.
For example, you can get T-shirts and computers and food items like snack foods, beef jerky. You could get Red Bull,
toothpaste,
yeah,
things like that,
yeah,
So,
toiletries, deodorant, just about everything that you need to include. If you end up tearing up one of your uniforms, you can always go there and get another, buy another uniform.
so that's all there for you.
Yes.
Yeah. And actually on the base that I was on, we actually had a gold shop there and a place where they sold like watches, almost like a little bazaar
Oh my gosh.
right there where the AFES was, where everything was at, to include, we had actual trailers that were like a internet cafe where you can go in there, communicate with your loved ones, do video chats, emails, continue your education, if you're doing online classes.
Okay.
All that stuff was available to
I
us.
didn't realize that.
Mhm.
And so internet's easy to get back into
Internet,
use
yeah.
over there.
Very easy.
Did you ever get to go to the public area, or did you have to stay in the green zone?
I wasn't in the green zone when I was there. I was a wrecker operator, so anytime a vehicle went somewhere and had the possibility of breaking down or getting an accident, the wrecker followed along, you know, just in case. So I got to go through a lot of the countryside, a lot of the cities, and I saw quite a bit of Iraq and Kuwait. And yeah, I got to go through the smaller towns and the bigger cities. The green zone, it was in the middle of Baghdad. I never went in that area, but all the places I did go were civilian, you know, run cities.
My first tour was in '99 to Kuwait, and I spent 9 months doing a peacekeeping mission at a place called Ali Al Salim Air Base. And the Air Force guys actually had vehicles that we could borrow. And so at the time I was in the infantry. So we'd go to the field for 4 days and be off for 2. So during our off time, we could actually borrow a vehicle from the Air Force and go into Kuwait City and get video games and see the gold sock and buy gold and stuff, which they sell it by the ounce instead of like the craftsmanship here in the United States.
Mhm.
You could buy a bracelet and you're paying for the gold plus the craftsmanship. There you're just paying for the gold.
Oh.
It could be as intricate as all get out, but you're only paying by the ounce. And got to go up into those, that one, I can't remember what the name of that place was, where they had the 2 towers.
The big towers.
Yeah, the big towers with the balls on it.
Uh,
Got to go up in there, and that's actually a restaurant. And went up there, had lunch, just had a really good time. When I was in Iraq in 04, 05, I was pretty much on base. I worked a night shift. I worked 14 hours a day, 7 days a week on a night shift. And I was actually in charge of working in a warehouse. And the only time that I actually went out was whenever a convoy needed to take a bunch of supplies from the warehouse to another place, and we did that like way late at night when the streets were clear. So I really didn't get to see a whole lot of Iraq. I saw a lot of Kuwait, but not a lot of Iraq.
Is there any cities that we should definitely see? Sounds like you got out a lot. Is there places-
Mosul, Iraq, Baghdad, Kirkuk. A lot of the cities in Iraq follow like biblical cities.
Mhm.
So Mosul, I think is Never Can Never, the garden cities, things like that. From the Bible, a lot of they say Iraq was the Garden of Eden, and the reason that the climate and everything is so bad is because of the whole eating the apple, and that's their punishment. So Iraq particularly follows along into a lot of the Bible, the biblical stuff. So anything through Iraq, you can trace back the history to biblical times.
Oh, I didn't know
Should
that.
definitely see the Tigris.
Yeah, Tigris
River
and Euphrates River.
Euphrates. When you go through Kuwait City is a magnificent place.
Really?
Magnificent. And believe it or not, they actually have TGI Fridays and stuff like that, those kind of restaurants there.
Kuwait
I'll make
Kuwait
that.
is a more westernized
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
city. Yeah.